Good day, ADT dealers. Our most recent question comes in from Jonathan Brown with Utility Helpers. Jonathan, thank you for the question. He asked, what ads and processes are the other dealers using for recruiting? Let me say I typically like to keep these videos 3 to 6 minutes, but the reality is I can't appropriately answer this question that quickly. Recruiting is far too critical. As far as any specific ads and frequency, I'm going to refer you to our dealer team. They can provide you with some specific examples of what works best and ways to track the ads so you keep them fresh and you must keep them relevant. The ads and the tracking, however, are just one part of the equation. Hiring is not just critical when you want to hire more sales reps. It's incredibly vital when you have lots of sales reps already. You have to understand this is an eat what you kill business, and not everyone is cut out for this challenge. I've heard it said, which means by the pure nature of our business, you're going to have turnover. Now understand, turnover is not only necessary, it's essential and must be embraced. They say some will, some won't, so what? Next. Think of your recruiting as a filter on a fish tank. If you've ever owned a tank, you should remember the importance of the filter. Man, that thing needs to be running all the time. If you stop the filter or you stop the hiring, you will get stagnant water or a stagnant sales team. And there's nothing that good comes out of stagnant except mucky and yucky. Not for a fish tank or a sales team. What happens is the old fish just become frustrated, and if they are tough enough, they survive the water condition. But for the most part, they will die from severe stagnant state. And when you're not challenging your system with new blood or new hires to keep the managers fresh and engaged, you will get a team of reps that think they control your outcome. You inadvertently allow them to be your source, and the impression is they are all you have. Hiring is the single most crucial part of any successful sales team, especially direct sales. There is no other ingredient more critical. Folks, you need to recruit 52 weeks a year. Why 52 weeks a year? Well, remember, it's like a fish tank, and the fish tank filter must be running 24/7. You should never ever say, I have enough reps. You never know who your next superstar is going to be, so you have to keep hiring until you find some. I say some because one is never enough. There are many superstars out there, and you must engage until you make recruiting a #1 priority. You will always have concerns about manpower. Hiring on a weekly basis keeps your existing sales staff on their toes. And when I was running a large door-to-door canvassing team, at least 30% of my door-to-door sales came from reps that wouldn't be at the job for longer than 3 weeks. That means hiring is not only a way to find superstars, it's also a way to generate sales to the new hires, friends, and family, even enemies. Excellent lead source. Family members love our service, but more importantly, they want to help their family or friend with his or her new career. Now, once you have the correct ads and know where to post them, that only takes care of a small part of the process. As important as the hiring ad is the way you handle the call when they call in. This is where I see so many opportunities lost. See, when you figure out the correct ad, you realize that the ads you post must be somewhat vague. I'm not suggesting you lie, I'm suggesting you be vague. The thing is, not many people wake up and say, I'm looking for a straight commission door-to-door job today. It's the opposite. Human nature is to take the path of least resistance. So the last option for most is going to be straight commission. And the last of the last is certainly door-to-door sales. You can't blame the people that are uneducated about direct sales. They don't know what they don't know. To give you some facts about hiring, some of my greatest reps and highest producers I still have with the company today, or their dealers, would have said, they'll tell you today, if I knew it was door-to-door straight commission, I never would have taken the job. So in essence, by being vague, you're protecting the applicant from themselves and not allowing them to condemn a potential opportunity they have sitting right in front of them. Now, when they call, it may go something like this. You may answer and say, personnel, may I help you? They would ask for the name on the ad. The name is not relevant to a person. It is the way to track the ad and know which one they are calling in on. You need to follow this data so you know which ones are working and which ads are not working. The applicant may say, I'm calling about the security consultant position available. You may say, great, can I ask whom I'm speaking with? Fantastic, Paul. Nice to meet you. And in case we get disconnected, what is the best number I can call you right back at? Perfect. My job is to schedule the interviews for the qualified applicants. So if you don't mind, to speed up the process, I'm going to ask you a couple questions to find out if you're qualified. Are you currently employed? If he says yes, you are looking for full-time employment, correct? And if you were selected for this few limited positions available, how soon would you be able to start? Great. I'll note that on the process form. At this point, they may start asking scheduler questions. It's imperative to make sure that the person knows how to handle that situation. They would just say, I am sorry, I am not equipped to answer those questions. I am only here to schedule the interview. All those questions will be explained by the supervisor during your interview process. I apologize due to call volume. I can only dedicate so much time per call. We have interviews scheduled, but I have 3 available slots open. Give them 3 available slots. Which time works best for you? Folks, do you have a pen or a pencil handy? I want to make sure you know exactly where our office is so you have the best opportunity to be on time. Timeliness is critical. The slots are limited, so if by any unfortunate chance you can't make it, please call us back and let us know so we can fill the spot from our waiting list. Critical to do this. Please note that the dress for the interview process is business casual, but a good rule of thumb is dress like you want the opportunity, like you want to work for this company. Thank you for your time. We look forward to meeting you soon. There's lots of other questions a scheduler may be faced with, and the good schedulers know how to navigate without answering too many questions. Understand you don't want to reveal too much over the phone as to prevent the applicant from prejudging the opportunity or attempting to have an interview conducted over the phone. They'll keep asking no matter how many times you say no. Another way to address the applicant who likes to keep asking questions that you already said you can't answer, and I did this all the time, is tell them that part of the process is somewhat of a pre-interview process, and we're testing your listening skills, which is a critical part of this position. You have to be a good listener. We're not conducting interviews over the phone. I have 3 slots now. There are only 2 slots now available. Which one works best for you? The key to the call is to make sure the scheduler appears to be very busy, and if the ads are working correctly, man, those schedulers will be very busy. Sometimes, here's how it works. If they are asking too many questions, I'll put them on hold. I'll say, please bear with me, and I'll leave them on hold for a minute. Make them wait, and I'll pick back up and say, I'm sorry, I've exceeded the call time to schedule. I want to make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. What time works best for the interview? And offer 2 to 3 time slots. The key is to stay in control and move on. This is how you fill the interview sheet. You also have to measure lots of things to get really good at recruiting. You have to measure the effectiveness of not only the ads, but also the scheduler skills. So you need to know how many calls are coming in by tracking and using a unique number, and then compare that to the specific ads. That shows you the effectiveness of the particular advertisement getting the phone to ring. And then you need to see how many of those calls turn into interviews. Did the scheduler do a good job? You will do well if you do these calls yourself at the beginning. That way you set a benchmark of expectations to measure against. Now you need to measure your show rate, your interview rate. This will tell you a lot about how the calls are being handled. It would be a good practice to record all the calls so you can continue to train the schedulers and tighten that process. Now, once you have an acceptable call to show ratio, you now measure the interview. And I strongly recommend you don't offer any positions during the interview. You should let them know that the leadership team will take your recommendations and be making decisions late afternoon, early evening, and you can expect a call either way this evening. We'll call you even if you aren't chosen. Thank you for coming in today. Folks, there's so many other incredible things that you can learn about this process. It'd be like giving you a haircut over the phone, though, to teach it in this entire video. But what I can offer is we do have resources available for training. Some of it requires reimbursement of expenses, but we have them available. And if you want to get your business to the next level, folks, reach out to us and tap into those resources. So in summary, recruiting is a forever activity. And when you're in direct sales, forever. It's a lead producer and a filter to push out the unmotivated and cancer spreaders. All organizations have these toxic people in their business, so it's important to push them out with new, fresh hires, new blood. Get to work and start hiring 52 weeks a year. Don't delay. You don't know who your next superstar is. And remember, wasting time is murdering opportunity. Stay positive, and I'll see you at the top.